Well, we're back right here on the Weekend Show, and our guest this evening right here in the studio, we have with us Khalid Al-Kleib, and Khalid is the team leader of the Kuwait Oasis group. Khalid, we'd like to welcome you to our program tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for having me in your program.
Nice to have you with us right here on the Weekend Show. And first off, Khalid, can you tell us about the environmental group Kuwait Oasis? When were you established, your goals and objectives, please?
Sure. Well, Kuwait Oasis is a team that is dedicated to increasing the green footprint in the deserts of Kuwait. So our mission is focused on increasing the footprints, the green footprint in the deserts. We don't do any activities of plantation within the city or in schools or anywhere. We're just focused on that mission. We are part of a larger entity which is called the Environmental Voluntary Foundation. It's a non-profit body that has 3 different teams. We have Kuwait Oasis, Kuwait Diving Team, which is a 19 years old team that has been rescuing and salvaging the marine environment in Kuwait. And we have a beach cleanup unit within our entity that organizes events for beach cleanups for kids at school, groups who are interested to do such kind of activities. We at Kuwait Oasis, we were established 3 years ago, and the whole idea was about motivating people and encouraging people to do positive practices to their deserts, which has been consumed a lot by either civilizations or the wars that Kuwait has gone through, from the Saddam invasion to Kuwait to the liberation process and then the liberation of Iraq. So it has caused a lot of negative impact on that environment, and we are trying to revitalize the Kuwaiti deserts by planting trees in designated spots.
I believe you have 2 main projects that you're working on. Can you take some time to explain about those 2 main projects, please, Khalid?
Sure. Well, our first project, which we kicked off our activities with, is called the Kuwait Oasis project. And basically, we started getting approvals from the governmental agencies in Kuwait to plant predefined areas within the deserts in the civilian territory. So we choose an area and we install irrigation systems and we try to plant deserts. And these projects are funded by either individuals or companies. We are very fortunate to get 2 major partners who helped us in planting these areas. One of them is Viva Telecom, and the other one is Nathan, the hot dog food chain. And we have planted more than 6,000 trees in these areas, which are now totally independent. We don't even irrigate them. The trees are self-sufficient. They survive the desert. And as you can see, here are some groups of volunteers who have helped us in some of our activities.
I'm sure volunteers are essential for this group, correct, Khalid?
Definitely, definitely. They're actually our fuel to push our activities forward and to help us in our activities. Our whole program is a non-profit program. So we rely on the participation of the civic society, the corporate and the governmental participation. Our second project, which we kicked off a year ago, it's called Kuwait's Green Wall. So Kuwait's Green Wall is basically reinstating the green soldiers on the borders of Kuwait. It's about planting 3 rows of trees around the Kuwaiti borders. It's a stretch of 420 kilometers, and we anticipate to plant 315,000 trees along that line. This program is expected to take us 10 years to conclude. It did start a year ago, and our activities are going on all year long, starting from like planting the tree, observing the growth, and irrigating these trees to make sure that they find their way to life.
Well, how do you choose the locations where you start the irrigation process and the planting? I believe you use the latest technologies and the latest irrigation processes.
Sure. When we first started our activities planting oases, which was like just few thousand trees, using the technology of drip irrigation was feasible and sustainable to our objectives. So, but as we planned our larger scale project, which is Kuwait's Green Wall, and due to the larger number of trees, when we have observed and calculated the consumption of water that we have used with the drip irrigation technology, we found out that each tree consumed 20 liters of water per week. So if you multiply this number to 315,000 trees, that means we are truly making a positive impact by planting trees, but we are consuming a sacred resource, which is water. So we came across this technology. It's a Dutch technology called the water box, founded by the inventor Peter Hoff. And this technology is all about the idea of giving trees the right amount of water that helps the tree survive. Trees do not require an excess amount of water to survive, but the more you irrigate them, the greener they become, the more density of leaves that they have. So this technology, when we have studied it and implemented it in our testing phase, we found out that each tree consumed 30 liters of water per year in comparison to 20 per week. So that's a total conservation of 1,500 liters of water per tree per year. So right there we said, like, bingo, we have a sustainable project.
So and let's talk about the long term. What are the overall benefits that the country and I guess the region would have from these two main projects that you're...
Okay, well, the outcomes of this project and the positive impacts are numerous. There are things that we account for, and there are things that we might not even be able to tell right now. But we know that planting these trees will create housing for migrating birds when they migrate through Kuwait during the migration season. We know that these trees will stimulate other forms of life around them. Bringing back these insects that are almost endangered. When was the last time you have seen a ladybird in your backyard? When was the last time you've seen a bee in your school garden? I bet these ants, some of the kids don't even see these kind of species anymore. So we think that planting these trees in the areas that we perform is going to stimulate other forms of life. Not to mention reducing the carbon dioxide levels, not to mention increasing the moisture level, and putting in more oxygen into the air that we breathe. So we think this project is a stimulus project, and it could ignite other individuals and institutions to take similar approaches to work wherever they work to help our environment to flourish.
Khalid, what are some of the plants or trees that you've planted? You said earlier on, one of the first project, 6,000 have been planted at different areas. Tell us about that a little more also.
Okay, well, when we wanted to plant trees in the deserts, we know that we will be dealing with a very harsh environment, you know, extreme weather situations. Temperatures rise up all the way to 60 or 70 degrees during the summers. The amount of water surrounding the trees is almost non-existent. So we had to predefine species that would survive these harsh factors, let's say. So we relied on some readings and studies that have been conducted by Kuwait Institute of Scientific Research. And there have been a couple of trees that we found out that they could survive these. One of them falls under the family of acacia trees, and the other one, unfortunately, I don't know the English name of it, but it's called cedar in Arabic. So we started testing these trees before we go on with our project, and we found out that at least 70% of them find their way to life in this harsh environment. We are in continuous research as we implement our project in association with Kuwait Institute of Scientific Research and other independent researchers to introduce more species, to create more diversity, and produce a larger impact.
So you face some challenges in these two projects with the terms of the limited types of plant species that you can plant and in terms of volunteers. But I'm sure you have already some success stories.
Sure.
Could you touch on these?
Yeah, we are very proud that we have more than 8,000 trees that are self-sufficient and they survive. They don't need any more interference from our side. No irrigation, nothing. And they are greener than ever. Probably some of the pictures are already shown, and some will come up also. People can refer to our website and see how these trees are
and
green.
Can the audience, people go see these trees?
Sure, sure. We have 3 oases that are open to the public. Where they can just basically go to our website, refer to the maps and see the locations, and they visit them, picnic around them, and show their kids these trees.
Nice.
So,
wow.
The
website will be coming up on the screens, but
sure.
Go ahead. Khalid.
Yeah. So these trees are really independent right now, and we're glad that we have that amount of trees in our first couple of years that are surviving the harsh environment.
Now on the borders, this is also the same kind of trees as the first project, or is this
yes,
different?
We're trying to introduce more species as we go on, but officially we only are recommending the acacias for now. We need to verify the claims that we are making about the other species before we publicize them.
Now, you said that people can go on the website and go to see these places, but if anybody was watching and would want to volunteer, are you accepting volunteers, and
sure.
what's the process that they would
sure.
have to go through?
There is something that I would like to highlight on. It's very easy to get in people to come with us and plant trees, and that's the easy part. But the difficult part is the maintenance of the tree, because we incubate the trees for 2 years. So it's not about how many people come out with us and plant trees, because that's the easiest thing to do, really. But for us to maintain these trees is the effort that we spare. So what we would like to do, or what we ask our followers and viewers to do, is to publicize this project, because the more publicity it gets, the more involvement from other elements of the society come in. They could fund our project. You know, we increase our manpower, offer better solutions. We do organize trips for volunteers to come in, and they can access our website, shoot us an email, communicate with us, and we can definitely arrange a trip for them to go and plant or participate in any other activity.
So you want them to adopt the tree and take care of it
exactly
on a regular basis, or
yeah.
or everyone.
What we are more interested in is the engagement of the general public. Sometimes we need a graphic designer more than a person who comes and plants a tree with us. Sometimes we need somebody who can articulate a press release for us more than a person who plants a tree, because as I've told you, this is the easy part, the planting the tree. But other activities, supporting activities, is really what keeps our project alive, going, and we can expose this experience to even neighboring countries and institutions worldwide. And
the various ministries are also involved with you, correct?
Yes, the Ministry of Interior actually is one of our most important partners, because they've given us access to the border area where we are planting tree. Their support to us is really important. They are always there with us when we plant, providing us with tools, even our water and food when we go in there and take people. So we can't thank them enough.
And that's a great idea, Khalid, the trees along the borders and that. How'd that idea come about?
Well, we were trying to think about a project that would cause a large impact, environmentally, socially, and even brand the country as a whole in international venues. We want to show the people that we are a country that depends and relies a lot on its civic society. We don't want to be the people who are dependent on their governments, what they give us. Like the quote says, don't ask what your country could give you, but ask what you could give to your country. So that's what we are trying to showcase. We thought about, well, Kuwait has been always surrounded by walls that was built by its own people in a volunteer effort. The 4 walls that historically were built around Kuwait city were built in volunteer efforts. So we said it's about time that the volunteers come again and plant a wall that is made out of trees around the whole country.
Yeah, really a very nice idea, and you all should be commended on your fine works and efforts that you're doing. I was taking a look at the website earlier today, a very nice website, Khalid, user-friendly. Tell us more about the website, what can be seen there, and the different elements to it, please.
Sure. Well, we're very honored to be incubated by a lot of companies and governmental institutions. So our efforts were appraised and funded, and we got a lot of support. One of them is PIC, the Petrochemicals Industries Company, who incubated us when we most needed support. They funded our website, they funded the plantation of trees. We also have Kuwait Energy as another company, Viva Telecom, the public authority, KIPA, Kuwait Environmental Protection Authority, the Ministry of Interior. So again, going back to our message, we plant trees, so we try to conserve even using paper. So we made that facade to the general public. Our website is our main, let's say, way of communication with the media, with the general public, and even with our partners. We try to limit printing papers. So, and we have a very talented team leader in the IT, a volunteer, Bashar Al-Abdelhadi, and he designed this website, he implemented it and kept the ways of communication with the general public very alive. So you can see our ongoing projects, executed projects, you can donate, you can view our press releases, media gallery, videos, the technology that we utilize, a whole lot of information that can be accessed and viewed through our website. And you can, it adapts to whatever device that you are using, whether you are viewing it from your mobile or from your laptop or tablet. It changes the layout based upon the environment that you are viewing the website from.
And are you also active on social media? Because that's very important here among
we're available on almost all social media channels under the name of Kuwait Oasis. So we are on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And the links to these social media are available from our website.
Yeah, it's a very nice website, and it's a pleasure to have you with us right here on the Weekend Show as we're coming towards the end of our interview this evening. Do you have any last words or comments or advice for the audience watching the Weekend Show? Especially this is the desert season now, people are out camping and so forth. What bit of advice do you have for the audience?
What we would like to advise the campers is this is a great opportunity for you to plant trees in your camp. 10 trees would cost you less than 5 KD to plant in your camp, nearby a water outlet or your sewage in the camp. And these trees have a success rate of 60 to 70%. So we have almost 40,000 camps out in the desert. If these 40,000 camps plant each plant 10 trees, that's 400,000 trees to be planted in one season. 60% of them find their way to life. That's almost 250,000 of trees finding their way to life annually in the desert. So we'd like to encourage our audience to plant trees while they are camping, or if they have a friend or family who are camping, just let them see our experience and engage them and hopefully to motivate them to practice positive behaviors while they are camping.
We'd like to thank you so much, Khalid, for joining us this evening, and wish you and all the participants and volunteers and members of Kuwait Oasis the best in the future.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support.
Thank you so much for joining us. We were speaking to Mr. Khalid Lekleib, and he is a team leader at Kuwait Oasis Group. Right now we're going to take a short break and then be back with you with some more of our segments. Stay tuned.